Hello guys, welcome back to the Pepcoding. So in this video, we are going to discuss our next question, that is count of sub-arrays with equal number of 0, 1s and 2s. Okay, so in this question, we have given an array. That array contains only 0s, 1s and 2s. Okay, and we need to find the count of sub-arrays with equal number of 0s, 1s and 2s. Okay, so we have given this type of array that contains only 0s, 1s and 2s. And in this question, we need to find the count of sub-arrays which contains equal number of zeros, ones, and twos. So this question's prerequisite was the previous question, that is longest sub-array with equal number of zeros, ones, and twos. And in that question, we are using a map. That map's key contains delta 10 slash or sharp delta 21. So this type of key we are storing into that map. Against that key, we are finding how many times this key appears by using the count of zeros, count of ones. And if we are finding that keys, then we need to increase our if we are finding this key, the same key again and again, then we need to increase our count, so we will get our answer. So we are using this key for finding our answer in this question also. Okay, so firstly we need a count of 0, count of 1 and count of 2. Okay, so here I'm writing the count of 0, count of 1, count of 2, and we are going to use the map here. That map contains key versus the count of key. Count of key, how many times this key appear. Now let's segregate this. Okay, so let me give some minute. Okay, now let's segregate this part, so we can write this. So by using that key, we are going to find that count of sub-arrays which contains equal number of zeros, ones and twos. Okay, so let me give a minute. Okay, now let's start with the count of 0, 1. When we are at this point, first point is this point. Now we are at this point and we don't have any array numbers, so we are saying that our count of 0, count of 1 and count of 2 is 0. And let's find this key. This key contains count of 1, this 0 says count of 0, this 2 says count of 2, and this 1 says count of 1. So it is a difference. Okay, so we are using the delta 10 and delta 21. So for finding the key of this value, the count of 1 minus count of 0, that is 0 minus 0, is 0 sharp. Let me change of 0 sharp. 2 minus 1, count of 2 is 0, count of 1 is also 0. So this is the key, and this key is appear for the first time. Now 1 is here, so we need to increase the count of 1. So 1's count is 1 now, and another is same as the previous. Now again we need to calculate the key. That key contains 1 and 0, delta 10. So 1 minus 0 is 0, 2 minus 1, 0 minus 0 minus 1, that is minus 1. So this key is appear for the first time. It is not our map is not contain this key already, so we are inserting this key against the count as 1. Okay, now again 1 is appear here, so we are increasing the count of 1, that is 2, and another is same for as the previous. Now again we need to find the key. The key contains count of 1 minus count of 0. So count of 1 is 2 minus count of 1 is 0. So 2 here at this point, not a 0 here at this point is a 1. Okay, so 1 sharp minus 1, and its count is 1. Now we are finding that for this, so 2 minus 0 plus 2, 0 minus 2, that is minus 2, and this key is appear for the first time. So we are in saying that this key is appear for the first time, the count is 1. Now 2 is appear, so we are going to increase the count of 2 by 1 is 1, and another is same as the previous. Okay, now again we are going to find the key, this key 2 minus 0 2 sharp, 1 minus 2 minus 1. Is this key is appear for the first time? Yes, it is appear for the first time, so we are saying it is appear for the first time. Now 0 appear, 0 appears here, so we are increasing the count of 0, that is 1, and another is same as the previous. Okay, so again finding the key, that is 2 minus 1, that is 1, 1 minus 2 minus 1. Is this key is repeated? Yes, it is repeated from this point to this point, and from this point to this point we got the same key, and the array in between them, from this point to this point, the sub array contains equal number of zeros, ones, and twos. The sub array contains equal number of zeros, ones, and twos. So our answer here, count of sub arrays, we are finding the first sub array, our first sub array that contains equal number of zeros, ones, and twos. So we are going to say that we got this answer for the first time. So in our count will be 1 for this point. Now, okay, now at this point 1 is appear for the third time, so increasing the count, another will be same as the previous, and it is appear for the second time at this point. Okay, so we are going to finding the key again, that is 3 minus 1 2 sharp, 2 minus 1 1 minus 3 minus 2. Is this key is repeated? Yes, it is repeated from this point to this point, and from this point to this point we got the same key, and the sub array in between these two keys is going to contains equal number of zeros, ones, and twos. So our count for that is this. Count for that is this. So we are increasing our count by this value, and increasing this count by 2. So we got this key again. Now we appear for the 0. So 0 is appear for next time. So we are going to increase the zeros count, that is 2. Another is the same as the previous. Let's find the key. 3 minus 2 1, 2 minus 1, that is 1 minus 3 minus 2. Is this key is repeated? 1 sharp minus 2, 1 sharp minus 2. No, so we are going to say that this key is appear for the first time. Now 1 appear, so we are increasing the count of 1, and another is same as the previous. Now again we need to find the key for that counts numbers. So 4 minus 2 2 sharp, 1 minus 3 minus 2, sorry, minus 3, 4 minus 2 2 sharp minus 3. Is this key is repeated? No, it is not repeated, so we are going to say this key got this key is appear for the first time. Now we have a 2. Now we need to increase the count of 2 here, and the count of 2 is 2, another is same as the previous. Okay, now we need to again find the key. That key is 4 minus 2, that means 2 sharp, 2 minus 1, 2 minus 4, that means minus 2. So is this key is repeated? Yes, it is repeated for the 2 times in the previous. Now at the first time we got this key at this point. So from this point to this point, from this point to this point, from this point to this point, and from this point to this point, we got the same key. And let's find from this point to this point, we got a sub array. We got a sub array that contains equal number of zeros, ones, and twos. So 0 contains 2 times, 2 contains 2 times, 1 contains 1 time. From this point to this point, we got another sub array that contains equal number of zeros, ones, and twos. So we need to say that the count of this key that is already present into our map is 2, and update the count of this key, that is 3. This key is appear for the third time. Okay, and remove this from this point. Now one appear here, so we are increasing the count of 1, that is 5, and another is as the previous. that 2, 5 and 2 represents 2, 2 got 0 got us 2 number of times from this range to this range. 5 is present at a 5 times from this range to this range, and 2 is present for the 2 times from starting to this point. Okay, now let's find the key again. 5 minus 2, 3, sharp. 2 minus 1, 2 minus 3, 5 minus 3. So this key is also appear for the first time. Now 2 is appear, so increasing the count of 2 by 1, and another is same. Again finding the key. 5 minus 2, that is 3, 3 minus 5, that is minus 2. So this key is also appear for the first time. Now 2 is appear, increasing the count of 2, and another is same. Now again finding the key. 5 minus 2, that is 3, 4 minus 5, that is minus 1. Is this key is repeated? No. So let's say this count is also 1. Now 0 is appear here. We got let's say here 3 minus 3. Okay, at this point 0 is appear. Now we are going to increase the count of 0, and another is same. Let's find the key again. 5 minus 3, that is 2. 4 minus 5, that is minus 1. So is this key is repeated? Yes, it is repeated. And from this point to this point, and from this point to this point, we got the same key, and we are going to increase the count of that. And let's say from this point to this point, we got same number of equal number of zeros, ones and twos. 0 is present for the 3 times, 2 is present for the 3 times, and 1 is present for the 3 times. Okay, so at this point we are going to increase our count by 1, and let's say this is 2. Now we are appear 1 is appear here, so increasing the count of 1. Another is same as the previous. Again finding the key. The key is 3 sharp. 4 minus 6, that is minus 2. Okay, we got that key for the second time, so again we are going to increase our count, and from this point to this point. Okay, and from this point to this point we got a same key, and in between these 2 points, the sub array, we have the sub array that contains equal number of zeros, ones and twos. Okay, so we got this number of sub arrays. This is 2 plus 2, 4 plus 5, 1, 6. Okay, so we got 6 number of sub arrays in this array. Okay, so this is the approach to solve this question. So from now we are going to code this. Let's start with the code. Let me do full screen first, increasing the font size. Okay, so first we are taking the count of zeros. Count of 0. Okay, count of 0 is 0 for the first time. After that, count of 1 is 0, and the count of 2s, it is also 0 for the first time. After that, we need a count, and we are storing that count into our answer. So we are returning our answer from this point. Okay, now let's take the hash map. Hash map contains key is a string and another value that is an integer. Okay, so this is a map, new hash map. Okay, new hash map, and the first value that we are putting into this, that is 0 plus sharp, that is hash plus 0. Against this key we are going to store 1 for the it appearance. So it appear for the first time, we are saying that from this point. Okay, after that we need to traverse over this array, that is I starting from 0. I is less than array dot length and I plus plus. Okay, we need to traverse over this array. If our array of I if our array of I is equals to 1, if it is 1, then we are increasing the count of 1 that means plus plus. Okay, in the else if part, if our array of I is equals to 0, then we are increasing the count of 0, that is plus plus, and in the else part, last part, okay, we are increasing the count of 2, that is plus plus. Okay, now after that we need to make a string, that is key. The key is, firstly we are taking the difference between 1 and 0, so count of 1 minus count of 2, count of 0, sorry, count of 1 minus count of 0, and plus we are using the hash, that is sharp here, and let's calculating the count of 2 minus count of 1. Okay, we are taking this key and we are checking is our map contains that key. Which key? This key that we are already we are just created. If this contains, then we are calculating its count, how many times it gets to into our map. So we are calculating that key here. Okay, after that we are putting this as a versus key map dot get, that what we are saying, key plus 1. We are increasing the count of that. After that, in the else part, we need to put that into our map. So against that key, we are saying that it is appear for the first time. So this is the all the code. Firstly, we are taking the count 0, 1 and 2. Let's now run for the sample test case, and let's try to submit it. Will it be pass all the test cases or not? So it pass all the test cases. So let's say first we are taking the count of zeros, ones and twos as a 0. Okay, after that we are initializing our answer as a 0. That at that place we are in the answer we are calculating our count, how many times the subarray appears. Okay, so we are putting the some key value, that is 0 sharp 0. After that we are traversing over the loop, that is I0, I is less than array dot length and I plus plus. After that, if 1 appears, increasing the count of 1. If 0 appears, increasing the count of 0. If 2 appears, increasing the count of 2. After that, finding the key by using this formula, that is 1 minus 0 and 2 minus 0. Okay, if now finding that key into map, if it is already present, then get the count of that key. Okay, after that we are checking that no, after that we are updating the key versus that value as a plus 1. We got another, we again got that key, so increase the count for that key. After that we are, if it is not present, then we are putting that key versus count as a 1 and returning the answer from this point. So this is the code and this is the explanation for this code. Now I hope you understand the question and the solution of this question. Thank you for watching.